Whenever you see a hearse go by, you know you'll be the next to die. They wrap you up.
So today we thought it would be a good idea just to update you on the things that we're doing so far. So in terms of like the post-production, how our editing, our feedback and the props.
So this is a prop we used in our trailer, and it's what Flora was when she was scratching out some of the photos. This was the photo of her. We purposely made it so she wasn't scratching out the photo of her.
Yeah, just to make it what our trailer really wanted to like portray was just the fact that like someone could tell, the audience could tell that it was her that was actually the twisted or evil one. So hence why we purposely left her so hers was untouched and the rest of them had like either crossed out. So it gives it like a sense of like her slowly killing off the family. If I'm gonna put it that way.
But also enigma. Yeah. In terms of Barfair's as well.
And obviously we had to do a lot of staying behind, me and Chloe, in terms of like the filming, because the little girl that we're using, she couldn't stay for that long. So what we did was we actually typed out a letter to see if her mum can allow us to like at least let her stay for a bit. So we'll be scanning this so you can see like the information and stuff. We also like left our contact numbers, so in case her mum panicked, her mum could like contact us if she actually needed us.
And then we also did a news report that we may use in our trailer, but we're not sure yet. And we're gonna ask like a teacher to speak it, and then we record it. Yeah. We might use that at the very start.
The reason why we're not quite sure if we want to use it or we shouldn't is because from our feedback from our teacher, Miss Ryder Owen to be specific, she said that maybe it might be too touchy. Like if someone in the audience has like schizophrenia, which is what initially we thought of, she said that they might get a bit too a bit uncomfortable because it might portray in the wrong way. So we're still like thinking about it. Well, me and Chloe are still thinking about whether to like actually include it because we wrote it, so we're not sure what a friend would think so far. So
we might use like some influences from the illness, but not make it obvious that she is schizophrenic.
Yeah, so I think that might potentially work a bit better.
Yeah.
And here are a few like storyboards that we came up with. So whenever me and Chloe came up with ideas, what we did was because Chloe is better at drawing, so she would draw it out and then I'll colour it in. So that's just basically the bits that we've done so far. Just we scanned all of this in so you see the extra scenes that we've added. So obviously it may look different from our like first storyboard that we put out.
Yeah. So like Megan being attacked and a wood scene to reinforce the isolated location that is often horror.
The blood scene as
when she's torturing the doll, and when she's washing her hands, it's like almost reminiscent of Psycho as well.
Yeah. We tried to film it a little bit like that as well. In terms of the sink, all you can hear was the natural sound of the tap and her scrubbing really hard. Yeah, so Matt thought that was effective.
And this, like, we've done loads of planning. Like, anytime we were going to do scenes or we didn't know what else to film or what we would use, we did, like, brainstorms. So it's got all the ideas. Like, we wanted to have more scenes for Megan and Flora.
Because before, I personally thought that it was a bit too much of, like, Flora and not enough of the characters. So what me and Chloe did was we actually came together and we're like, what other scenes could we add, like to make it more like kind of mysterious and stuff. So yeah, these are just, it's really messy, but these are just like a few like ideas, if you call it, of what our narrative and what our trailer was going to include, because we had to kind of narrow it down.
Yeah.
In terms of the editing, when it comes to the editing, what we done was we actually print screened like the shots that we were going to use, like because we weren't sure. Obviously you can't use all the shots that you filmed, so we thought that was a good idea to like print screen so we can actually see the shots in there.
So it helped us separate the good ones
from the bad ones, the extremely bad ones.
Because some of them, like if
the head was a bit cropped up, if like the mise en scène and the camera position wasn't quite right, like it helped us to kind of like, no, we don't want this one.
Yeah, if someone was talking by accident over the scene, and we could.
Which is something that, speaking of which is something we actually learned, because before, when we actually started this whole like filming process, there were a lot of footages that we filmed whereby like, let's say I was giving directions, so Chloe was filming most of the time whilst I gave like the direction and stuff, and sometimes we like filmed whilst I was talking, so like me talking was like in the background, and we didn't want that. So, however, we quickly learned that we had to like film, and we had to like discuss it first because she's quite young, so we obviously have to give her directions. So we had to film first. I mean, we had to give her directions first and then film. So like it's a lot easier, and my talking didn't get into the way and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Alright. Okay.
This is like these are like a few like slogans and ideas again that we thought we were going to include in either the trailer or the poster. So we have, for example, Floyd's Dying to Meet You. We're planning to put this right at the end of the trailer to have a more impact on the audience, to kind of like evoke a reaction. So yeah, it kind of builds up, and then you just... I just think sometimes, like... Not sometimes, I just feel like it just reinforces the fact that it's her, so it makes the narrative a lot clearer. So therefore you engage with the audience. You don't want the audience to be like, yeah, is that her or is that someone else? Do you know what I mean?
You want them to understand the narrative and not have to think too much in order to, when they're watching.
And then when it came to editing again, we wrote down extra scenes that we wanted to include, because when we first started editing it, and they were like, oh yeah, we could add this. So what we did was, whenever we thought of any scenes, we quickly like wrote it down. So like when it came to editing, we were like, oh, we can use this here. For example, the Lionsgate, we're like, oh, we can use that here, and we can use her crying in this scene and that scene. So it kind of like showed our organisation skills, and yeah.
You up in bloody sheets and throw you down 10